Hello everyone. Welcome back to ProMind classes. Hope you all are doing well. As we are continuing with our NCERT series, we are doing NCERT Class 6th Geography. And today we will study chapter number 5, Major Domain of the Earth. So, let's get started. Human beings and other living organisms are living on the earth. Why? Because the life-sustaining elements like land, water and air are present on the earth, and these components are known as major domain of the earth. Here the word domain denotes an area of earth. That means we will study about the area of an earth, which is divided into 4 major domains. First domain is lithosphere, means land area. Second domain is hydrosphere, means water area. Third domain is atmosphere, means air and gases area. And fourth domain is biosphere, means a common junction area where land, water and air with all living organisms are found, and hence biosphere is known as domain of life. So now we will study all the 4 major domains in detail. Let's start with lithosphere. The solid portion of the earth is called lithosphere. The solid portion means the land, and 29% of Earth's surface is covered with land. It comprises the rocks of the earth crust and a thin layer of soil that contains nutrient elements. And what does the nutrient element do? It helps organisms to survive. Now you see the 2 main divisions of Earth's surface. The large landmass of Earth's surface are known as continent, and the huge water bodies of Earth's surface are called the ocean basins. The portion of the Earth's surface which is not covered with water is called land, and the portion of Earth's surface which is under the water is called water basin. And you know the highest point on Earth's land surface, that is the peak of Mount Everest. It is 8,848 meters above the sea level. And also the deepest depth in the ocean basin of 11,022 meters is recorded as Mariana Trench in Pacific Ocean. Now you see that the elevation of land is measured from the level of sea, which is taken as 0. Why? Because the level of seawater remains the same everywhere. All the oceans of the world are connected with each other. Now we will study about continents. As we have studied above, that the large land masses of Earth's surface are known as continent. So there are 7 major continents, and they are separated by large water bodies. So what are that continents? They are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. And also there is one interesting fact that the greatest part of continent lies in the northern hemisphere. Now we will study about Asia. So Asia is the largest continent, and also it covers about 1/3 of the total land area of the earth. And the continent lies in eastern hemisphere. And the Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent, and Asia is separated from Europe by Ural Mountains on the west. Now you see that the combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called Eurasia. That means Europe plus Asia. And Asia is also bounded by the Arctic Ocean to the north, Pacific Ocean to the east, and the Indian Ocean to the south, and also Europe to the west. Now we will study about Europe. Europe is the sixth largest continent of the world. It is much smaller than Asia. Asia is the largest and Europe is the sixth largest, and it is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. It is bounded by water bodies on three sides. That is Arctic Ocean on the north and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. Now we will study about Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. And this continent is bounded by the Indian Ocean is in the east, and in west it is Atlantic Ocean, and in south it is surrounded by both, that is Indian and Atlantic Ocean. Now you see that equator or 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. And a large part of Africa lies in northern hemisphere and the rest are in southern hemisphere. And it is the only continent which the Tropic of Cancer, the equator and the Tropic of Capricorn passes. And as you know, Nile, it is the world's longest river and that also flows through Africa. And also the world's largest hot desert, that is Sahara Desert, it is also located in Africa. Now we will study about North America. So it is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked in South America by a very narrow strip of land called Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern hemisphere. And three oceans surrounds this continent, which are the Pacific Ocean in the west, Atlantic Ocean in the east, and Arctic Ocean in the north. Now we will study about South America. It is the fourth largest continent of the world, and it lies mostly in southern hemisphere. And you see, South America is bounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the northeast, east and southeast, and Pacific Ocean to the west. Now, world's longest mountain range, that is the Andes, runs through its length from north to south. And South America also has the largest river of the world, that is the Amazon. Now we will study about Australia. It is the seventh largest continent of the world and it is also the smallest continent of the world. And it lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. And it is surrounded on all sides by ocean and seas, and it is called an island continent. Island means the area of a land which is surrounded by waters from all the four sides. And so Australia is surrounded by ocean and seas from all the sides. It is called island continent. And Australia's oceans and seas include those of the mainland and its offshore territories in Pacific Ocean, Southern Ocean and Indian Oceans. Now we will study about Antarctica. So Antarctica is the fifth largest continent of the world. It is surrounded by Antarctic or Southern Ocean. It lies completely in the southern hemisphere and it is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. As it is located in the southern polar region, it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlement because of the unfavorable condition to survive. And many countries have their research station in Antarctica. India also has their research station there. And the names are Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Europe, Asia and Africa continent are connected with each other. The Isthmus of Suez connects the continent of Asia and Africa, and North America and South America continent are connected, and they are connected to each other by Isthmus of Panama, and Australia and Antarctica continent are separated. Now we will study about hydrosphere. Hydrosphere consists of water in all its form, as running water in ocean and rivers and in lakes, ice in glaciers, underground water and the water vapor in atmosphere. And you see that more than 71% of earth is covered with water. More than 97% of earth water is found in ocean. And it is too salty. That is why it cannot be used by humans. A large portion of rest of the water is in the form of ice sheets and glaciers or under the water. 3% of Earth's water is fresh water, in which 2.5% of Earth's water is unavailable because it is locked up in glaciers, polar ice cap, atmosphere. And so what we get? We just get 0.5% of Earth's water as a fresh water for use. Now when we look from space, Earth seems to be blue. Why? Because it is covered mostly with water and it is also known as blue planet. Now we will study about ocean. So oceans are the major part of hydrosphere, and as you have already studied above that they all are connected with each other. The ocean's waters are always moving. The chief major movements are three. And what are they? The waves, the tides and the ocean currents. And there are 5 major oceans. They are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean in order of their size. Now we will study detail about all the oceans. So let's get started with Pacific Ocean. So Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean and it is spread over 1/3 of the earth. And Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the earth, lies in Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is almost in circular shape and it is surrounded by Australia, Asia, North and South America. Now we will study about Atlantic Ocean, that is the second largest ocean in the world, and it's S in shape. It is flanked by North and South America on the western side. The irregular and intended coastline in the Atlantic Ocean means the coastline is ideal for natural harbors and ports. Hence, the Atlantic Ocean is busiest ocean from commercial point of view. And due to intended coastline, water comes close to harbor, providing a very large entrance to the ship. Now we will study about Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean named after a country, India. The shape of ocean is almost triangular. In north it is bounded by Asia, in west by Africa and in east by Australia. Now we will study about the Southern Ocean. The Southern Ocean, it encircles the Antarctica continent, also known as Antarctic Ocean, and it extends northwards to 60° south latitude. Now we will study about Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. And it is connected with Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. And it is bounded by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. Eurasia is again Europe plus Asia. Now we will study about atmosphere. The earth is surrounded by a layer of gases called atmosphere. And this thin blanket of air is an integral and important aspect of planet. It provides us air we breathe and protect us from harmful effect of sun rays. The atmosphere extends up to the height of about 1600 kilometers. And the atmosphere is composed mainly of nitrogen and oxygen, which makes up to 99% of clean dry air. So what are the percentage? Nitrogen is 78%, oxygen is 21%, and other gases like carbon dioxide, argon and other comprises 1% by volume. Oxygen is to breathe of life, while nitrogen helps in growth of living organism. Now you see that carbon dioxide, though present in minute amount, it is important. Why? Because it absorbs heat radiant by the earth, thereby keeping the planet warm, and it is also essential for the growth of plants. Now you see that on the basis of composition, temperature and other properties, atmosphere is divided into 5 layers, that are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So we will study each in a little bit detail. So let's start with troposphere. The layers starting from Earth's surface are called troposphere. It is the lowest layer of the atmosphere and it contains 75% of gases in the atmosphere. And all weather phenomena that we experience on the earth occur in this sphere. Now you see that the stratosphere starts just above the troposphere, and the stratosphere has a layer of ozone which protects life on earth from harmful and ultraviolet light of the sun. The region above the stratosphere is called mesosphere, and the temperature in mesosphere decreases with height reaching about minus 100 degrees centigrade. In the upper mesosphere, this is the coldest region of the atmosphere. The thermosphere starts just above the mesosphere, and the temperature in the thermosphere increases with the height, and the thermosphere is also known as the heat sphere of the atmosphere. Now let's study about exosphere. Exosphere is the outermost layer of atmosphere. This layer has the lightest gas like hydrogen and helium in extremely low densities, and most of the satellite orbit are here. Now do you see that the density of atmosphere varies with the height. It is maximum at sea level and decreases as we go up, and the temperature also decreases as we go upwards. The atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth. That pressure is called atmospheric pressure or air pressure. It is the force exerted on a surface by air above it as gravity pulls it to the earth. So, some area experience high pressure and some area experience low pressure. This varies from place to place. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure, and this moving of air is known as wind. Now, you know that as we move towards higher altitude, there is a decrease in density of air. And because of this, the mountain climbers experience problem in breathing. So they carry oxygen cylinder with them. Now let's see about biosphere. Biosphere is the narrow zone where we find lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere together. Means where land, air and water are together. It is in this zone that life that is unique to the planet exists. There are several species of organisms that vary in size, from microbes and bacteria to huge mammals. So from very small microbes to very huge mammals, everybody survive on this zone. And all the living organisms, including humans, are linked to each other in the biosphere for survival. How they are linked? For example, cutting of forest for fulfilling our needs of wood or clearing land for agriculture and may lead to fast remove the soil from slopes. So this is how we all are connected and linked to each other for the survival. Now the organisms in biosphere may broadly be divided into plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Now you see that Earth's surface may change due to natural calamities. And what are the natural calamities? Like earthquake, flood, drought, tsunami. So these all are natural calamities, and Earth's surface may affect due to this. For example, there could be the submergence of land as happened in case of tsunami recently in parts of Andaman and Nicobar Islands were submerged under water. So one more thing, that discharge of waste material into lakes and rivers makes the water unsuitable for human use, and it also damages the other forms of life by becoming polluted, and it is known as water pollution. Now, emissions from industries, thermal power plants, and vehicles, this pollute the air, that is air pollution, and that is harmful for human survival. Now, you see that carbon dioxide, that is CO2, is an important constituent of air, but increase in the amount of CO2 leads to increase to global temperature, and this terms as global warming. So what are the essential steps that we can take? There is a need to limit the use of resources of the earth to maintain the balance of nature between the domains of the earth, that is lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. Now here our chapter is completed. Hope that your concepts are clear regarding the domain of earth. Hope that you like our video. Please do subscribe our channel and share our video. Thanks for your precious time. Have a nice day. Stay tuned with ProMind.